Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2015 General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month holds several rare configurations that will speak to us more in a sense of a collective than necessarily an individual sense. So I actually am going to be creating a special video that looks at that and some of our larger lessons that are going to be taking place. This is mostly because of the first of a series of conversations that are going to start to take place between Saturn and Neptune. So all of us in some way are checking our reality versus the fantasy versus the ideal, looking at where to draw the hard line, looking at where to be more compassionate. So this is going to be a dominant energy that we're seeing around us, and certainly that includes you as well. So when I look at the sky for this month, so let's put that to the side for just a moment. Looking at the sky for this month, what I find so fascinating about what is taking place is that while we have this conversation taking place, we also have you looking at how you can strengthen yourself from the inside out. And what I mean by that is there's a type of strength that comes from show, right? That comes from, whether you want to call it like making your body look any way that you want, or sort of speaking a certain way, demonstrating yourself a certain way. That is one type of show. But there's another type of strength that comes from recognizing what matters, recognizing what is essential, and knowing that each action you take has consequence, has larger consequence in your life, and that you want to ensure those actions that you are taking are building you towards something that matters to you and that creates an impact. Now, whether that's an impact in your own life, in the connection you share with another person, or in a larger sense as well. This is where you are going to be able to start accessing some energy that is going to help you to understand where it is that you're effective and where it is that you are not, and make smart choices. And a part of these are going to be motivated, part of these choices are going to be motivated by a sincere desire to create greater prosperity for yourself as well. When I look at this, it does suggest to me that there's a daily element involved in this. So a part of this could be that the daily element, if you will, has to do with you looking at the work that you're doing. How is that contributing to a larger financial picture? Could there be something that you do that ultimately can help you create income for a really long time to come? Where can you invest your time where it's actually going to matter, right? Not necessarily doing something so that you're working by the hour, or it's kind of day in and day out. You show up, you'll get paid, but actually working towards something meaningful to you, utilizing your skills well, utilizing your day well, and knowing that you are contributing to a project that you hope will be prosperous for a very long time to come. So this could be a creative or otherwise a business idea as well that could be coming forward now. The other thing with this energy in the middle of the month, with this particular celestial sky, it does speak to you having to deal with, for some of you out there, having to deal with financial institutions. So this has to do with banks, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, inheritances, and also has to do with benefits, right? Like what it is that you might be seeking, support from people you know, emotional support, but also financial as well. So this would be, right in the middle of the month, a good time for you to be considering reaching out. If you've been thinking about getting a mortgage or sort of redoing your mortgage in a way that gives you better terms, this could be a really good time to make that happen. This could also be a good time when you hear of an opportunity that actually can help you very much to secure an investment like a home as well. As we move towards the end of the month, there is a full moon taking place in a much more social part of the sky. So whereas in the middle of the month, the energy is a little bit more, yes, there's hope, but there's also a sense of seriousness, a sense of consequence, a sense of things changing in a way that you like. By the time we get to the end of the month, what I really like about this is that it's much more social for you. Now, I do gotta say, this energy has to do with neighbors and siblings and cousins. If you are not really open to getting some tough love, you might not want to ask one of these people for advice because it just looks like, I look at this particular full moon, it's standing across Mercury and Saturn. It might be that you're going to one of these people for advice, and some of the feedback you get does sort of make you think much more deeply about what is the responsible choice forward, and also getting you to evaluate yourself much more deeply as well. Getting you to understand the value of taking a more grown-up approach, if you will, in whatever it is that you are seeking to understand better. So this is ultimately good, but it does look like there might be a little bit of a moment that makes you go, okay, I wasn't expecting that. But it does look like ultimately it is coming from a good place. Also with this particular full moon, I like to call this right place at the right time, okay? So as you are going about doing what you do, whether it's a networking event, whether it's just, active in your community, running around your neighborhood, very possibly could run into a person who in some way can help you to better clarify, better understand what it is that is worth moving towards, what it is that you desire, help you clarify what it is that you desire to start putting into place so you can manifest even bigger things. Now, whether those bigger things are more in alignment with a sense of life purpose, more in alignment with a sense of legacy, or just more in alignment with some career goals that you might have. This is somebody helping you to clarify that, to show you where you are, and to also point the way of where it is that you could go, where your work is, if you truly desire to achieve those things that you say that you do. So be open to that prospect. I would say that this guy can also speak to taking short trips, the kind that you would take by car for a few hours. I would be a little aware, I would be a little mindful, especially of delays, of being asked questions while you're traveling. Sometimes it's not always the easiest process. So what you want to do is give yourself a lot of time, strive to enjoy the process. If you have to go, you gotta go. But for all that, it does look like a time when you're having some key conversations that in some way help you to put your head on straight. And that is a great benefit. That is going to be very meaningful to you in terms of actually building something strong, building something solid, and something that you truly do feel proud of. What I love about this month for you is that, yes, you're thinking about prosperity. There's a part of you that's opening to greater prosperity. That's amazing. And at the same time, you're moving towards being more open to the advice that others have to offer. You're open to considering other ways of incorporating new elements so that you can move yourself in a direction that feels more in alignment with where it is your spirit truly desires to go. There's a grown-up approach as part of this sky this month. There's a part of you that's asking yourself if you really have the inner stability required to make a miracle happen in some cases. Well, actually you do. It might take someone else's nudging, and it might take some support on behalf of people who actually love you, but you certainly do have that, and you might end up finding yourself in the midst of a moment that you really can take what otherwise might just seem like it's a lofty ideal, might just seem like something that you might do one day, and coming up with a concrete way to move forward, and to move forward in a direction that you know will manifest even greater things for you in your life.